I mean, that's good for her. My issue is more money made me order more Grubhub, which made me gain more weight. So now I got to spend more goddamn time in the gym, which has made me less productive. So thank you, money and technology. But the bad
Yeah.
part is, it's not even a joke. That's true. When I was in my apartment in the city and you open up like Uber Eats and it's like you have 1,200 restaurants to choose from. Like, oh shit, gonna get some tacos. Like, oh man, it's probably the worst thing to ever happen. Um, it's a where I live is 20 minutes to anything, so it's like if I want pizza, and it's like yeah, it's too late. I'm not gonna screw with it. And now you can like open up an app and oh shit, so it'll bring me pizza. Like, oh,
That's funny.
counterproductive, man. Um,
Robin Hood spreading the wealth.
yeah. Um, but scroll back up. Hey, I didn't catch his
Yeah.
headline. Money made me more productive. Not productive. I mean, dude, the last thing we need is any more online gurus.
Yeah.
Um, I think about it. Employment boost. How many times we get a call from someone needing help with a resume or interview coaching, and they've been following this person on LinkedIn, and I've done everything they said, but I'm not getting any job offers. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you realize that they have a great incentive to keep you not employed, so you keep reading their content and buying their shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, stop listening to these people. And you go into these job interviews and you start playing these games from some recent grad from college trying to tell you how you should interview, even though they've never interviewed or hired anybody in their life, but you're taking advice from these people.
Mhm.
Oh my god, we don't need any more gurus. Yeah. Unless you've been signing the front of that check. Man, don't
Yeah.
listen to anyone. Don't listen to anyone else, right?
Hmm.
So, but like this topic, it's tough to like it could easily turn into hate the rich if you
Yep.
life's not all about money and hate the wealthy and like let's just have a level-headed conversation about I can use the example because I grew up broke in a working class family at best where we struggled, and as time went on and I made a little more money and I made a little more money, like things changed. Okay, I'll tell you what though, when you're broke you have to do everything whether you want to do it or not, and it eats up time. So, and a lot of the issue, this is why a lot of people never escape that trap, especially where I come from. People didn't get out. Like I escaped,
Mhm.
but I escaped because I kept just doing the shit that I didn't want to do, but I had to do. Okay, and it till even today, where I'm at, 20 plus years later, and I'm doing okay for myself. Every day I got to do shit I don't want to do.
Right.
But as I've got access to more money, I was able to start offloading some of the shit I don't want to do. Doesn't mean I get rid of all of it. It's for some of the stuff in our company, it's just things that I am just better at than everybody else. And I might hate it, but I'm the best at it, so I'm going to do it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And sometimes we try to outsource those things, and it doesn't go so well. So then we end up going, okay, I got to go back and do this myself. But I'll just give you a quick example of one. I actually enjoy cutting my lawn. I have a massive lawn. I have some property, and I enjoy putting my headphones on and cutting grass and doing all that. I like being outside in the heat. I'm allergic to bees, unfortunately, so I had to like wear like a Carhartt jacket in 90-degree heat to make sure I wasn't getting lit up by yellow jackets because I'm trying to stay out of the hospital again. Like it's not a lot of fun. But I did enjoy it, minus being in a sweatbox for an hour. But then as like life started to get busier, and I got 3, 4, 5 companies running, and others I'm investing in, and it's like there are times when it's like I could have used that couple hours that I spent working in the yard, right?
Yeah.
Now, Ken, when we had no money, you had to do that stuff. You didn't have money to pay no one, or if you did, that money was just you wanted to spend that money somewhere else. But you got to the point where it's like, all right, I can spend a little bit of money to have someone like take care of the yard. Here's a trap, though, okay? And I would say this is what happens to most people. You take the money and you go hire the person to do your yard, okay? And that 2 hours it saves you, you got to do weeding, you got to do weed trimming, you got to like do all this stuff if you want to like keep a nice yard.
Yeah.
But instead of like using that 2 hours to be productive, we don't do shit. We sit on a couch, we go do unproductive stuff. And that is the trap. It's convincing yourself that I'm going to go offload some of these tasks or some of these things I need to do to someone else so I can free up my time to be more productive. But then, Kane, most people aren't more productive. And that kind of like separates the people who are like really successful and not. It's that when they get that extra chunk of time, what do you do with it? And we watch TV, we sleep in a little bit longer, we go out with friends and have some drinks. I mean, there's 20 million things that we find to waste that time on. And then you sit back and hiring that person to do these things for me didn't really benefit me. It's like, but you didn't make use of the time, okay?
Yeah.
And I started as I think I always respected my time, but I'm sure I didn't at some point. But as I had more success, my time became the most valuable commodity that I had anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in the tech world and someone would call me up at like 5:00 on a Saturday that they had some issues and they wanted me to come like fix it. And I would tell them my rate. They're like, ouch. And Kane, my normal rate was $150 an hour. That's like Monday through Friday type shit. What do you think I was quoting them at middle of the afternoon on a Saturday? And it's like, look, man, this is my free time. If you want me to come fix your shit, this is the rate. And I had a very nice skill set at the time and a good reputation, so people paid it. But other than that, I'm like, this is very valuable to me. And more, if I pay someone $75 to cut my lawn, and I think that my free time's worth $300 an hour, I'm winning right now.
Yeah.
If I'm using that hour for something productive. Now, productive might be, I'm going to go to the gym for an hour, Kane, and I'm going to try to get healthy so I got more energy and I can live longer and just take care of myself. Like to free up that. Now, I'm saying like there's a lot of people that say they're busy. I think I'm fairly busy. There's definitely people more busy than I am, okay? But to free up that time to like take care of myself is valuable. But I'm going to use that hour to be productive. So, commute to work. I love driving. I just go for drives and I play music and I listen. I get ideas. I love it. Over time, though, it's like, well, I kind of want to be closer to the office if I can. The thought of spending 2 hours in the car every day, I can't, as much as I want to tell myself I can't fill 2 hours every day up with phone calls at that particular time when I'm in the car. It's like, man, what is 2 hours a day? That's 10 hours a week. I go on the weekends. That's 12 hours a week. Oh, geez. Then it's like over a month. Let's just round up and say that's 50 hours. And then you times that shit by 50, well, you see where I'm going.
Yep.
500 hours a year, 600 hours a year I'm spending commuting. Holy shit, Kane, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
So it's like if I can cut that in half, I can gain 250 hours, whether I want to spend that with family, whether I want to go to the gym and work on myself, whether I want to read books, whether I just want to work on my businesses, whatever it is. What could you do with an extra 250 hours or more productive time a year?
Yeah.
Kane, it's substantial. That's
yeah.
life-changing type of shit. So you get to the point where it's like you start making more money, and once you can afford to, you got to get out of the struggle. You can't be living check to check. You need to get your debt paid down. You got to keep grinding until you're in that position, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in that position where you're saving a reasonable amount of money and you're safe. Right? I got 6 months of living expenses in the bank. I'm putting some money away. I got rid of my bad debt. Now I can start thinking, I want to keep making moves. Where can I save some time? This person hired a bookkeeper, it looks like. I hired someone to cut my lawn. And you start every step of the way as you get more successful and more money, you start taking a little bit of that money to buy back your life. That's what I say. You're buying back your life. You're buying back your free time to go do the things you want to do or go to do more productive things. I guess that's fine if you want to buy back your time and sit on the couch and watch Netflix. Do whatever blows your head back. I'm talking about if you're trying to justify that expense and really trying to climb and climb and climb. Like that's a buying back shares in a stock, right?
Yeah.
Kind of almost paying yourself a dividend. I'm buying back my time so I can go do the things I want or go do things that help me get to the next level. So, not sure this is making much sense on your side. I'm sure you get it. I'm just
No, I do. It absolutely makes a lot of sense. And my issue with the article is that the framing it's obviously clickbaity. Like it's absolutely true that like being productive is like it's a function of like how you use your time.
Yeah.
But money, the way the article is framed at least, which is money made me more productive, I disagree with that, because resources are always great if you use the resources the way you've said it, which is to buy back time. But that's not a function of like whether you're, or at least I don't think so, whether you're rich or not, right? Like even people with limited means, if they use the resources well, can be productive.
I guess it really depends on where you're at in life.
Yeah, that's true.
There was a time when I was a teenager that my dad's union's on strike, where I'm working 3 jobs, he's working shitty jobs, and there's like $500 to our name at this point in time, and rent's due and it's $600. When you're in that kind of life, and I think there's a lot of time, I want to talk more about this, but there's not a lot of content out there that talks about what it's like to start with like literally fucking nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
And then trying to build on that. And there was certainly people with way less than I had, and they got it way worse. But compared to most of the shit I read on the internet, it's like a lot of people started on second and third base and they're acting like, oh, I started at the bottom. Sure, man, got you. And the thought, like when you're in that position where it's like you got $500 and rent's due in a week, and rent 600, then you got electric bills and all this stuff. There's no money to use wisely if you can think about that for a moment. There's nothing extra. In fact, you're kind of negative right now. So you're at a point where you're basically making just enough money to get every bill paid by the 29th of the month. You're not in that position to go like this person. I hired a bookkeeper. Granted, there was nothing to bookkeep. There's no fucking money, but
yeah, right.
Let's just say, my father was able to make $60,000 instead of the shit wage he was making then. Then I think, it's you would have some money to use wisely or make smarter decisions and be more productive. But, I don't think this article is for the people making $500,000 a year. I feel like it's the people that are trying to like, I'm just getting out of, the hole and I'm starting to save some money, and now I got some money to make some investments, right? I didn't read this article. You popped it up in front of me and I'm like, all right, well, I got some shit to add. But yeah. maybe it is clickbaity, but it's what else we got here? I've not read this.
No, everything you said is absolutely true, James. And when we brought up the article, I was curious to kind of know what you thought about productivity and money. And so we're absolutely on the right track. I as you were speaking, I was kind of just thinking about the headline, and that was kind of what just started to like bother me a little bit. But
scroll back up.
You're right. I think, yeah. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's why you clicked on it probably though, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I think that's what, we try to do that where we're not trying to clickbait someone. That's I'm trying to tell you what it is. We're going to try to deliver that. And if it's not a topic you don't want to listen to, you don't click on it, right? But
yeah, that's true.
I know a lot of people that made more money and they made their lives way less productive. So, I don't think money is the ultimate fix, but
resources help you build the kind of infrastructure that helps you live the life that you want to live, at least, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, I think a lot of times people with money, they end up going and buying a bunch of shit, and then they got to spend all their time taking care of all that stuff, and then that makes them really not productive, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Right.
I can think about it at the marina I'm at. There's people that spend a tremendous amount of time. If you keep a boat on the water, Kane, you're constantly cleaning the fucking thing. You are dealing with maintenance nonstop. You're in the water. Shit is always breaking. Right? Even new boats. The amount of time, so it's like money allowed you to go buy this, but you essentially bought a time suck. And then the guy with the boat next to me, he's got a Corvette that's old, and he's always working on that. It's fine, and you might enjoy that.
Yeah.
But you think about more money allowed them to go buy more shit, and I'm not. If you don't have money to go hire someone to take care of all that shit, then you're stuck taking care of it. And now you're not using productive time to get smarter and make more money. You're spending your time to take care of everything. So
yeah,
there's things that we don't think about. Just kind of maintaining stuff. In my old neighborhood, you could walk down the street and you would automatically assume that someone that had a nice lawn had money, right? It's we were up north somewhere, and there's a neighborhood in Charlevoix that's like just beautiful. And family member I'm with, he's like, "Oh, everyone's got nice grass around here. They must be, rich." And they just happened to get a lot of rain, and they probably cut their grass. Like Michigan's got hammered with rain this year. My grass right now at this point in the year is usually extra crispy. If a spark gets set off, I got a grass fire. That's just how it usually is in August. But we got so much rain this year, I got a foot of grass outside.
Oh wow.
But he automatically assumed that, oh, nice yards mean they're wealthy. See, in my old neighborhood, King, you could make that same assumption, except you realize it doesn't cost you anything to pull weeds. There was people that just went outside, they sprayed their grass with water, they pulled all the weeds around their front of their house, they cut their grass, and a lot of these people who were working class with not a lot of money, they just kind of had pride, and they took care of their shit. But taking care of their shit took time, right? So you realize no matter what it is, you can have a lot of nice things, but it takes time. And if you don't want to, you want to own those things and not spend your time on it, then you either let those things go to shit or you hire someone to come maintain them. And I don't know. Productivity is a strange thing because we often equate productivity to doing the things that we want to do. And I watch that kill a lot of small business owners, right? They never want to do the hard things. It's let's do all the easy shit. And it's never the easy shit that keeps you in business or brings the revenue in, for example.
Yeah, no, I hear you absolutely. I'll just elaborate a little bit more. I'm reading a book right now called Stretch. It's all about kind of taking whatever resources you have and then maximizing it within a business context, of course. And so with that in mind, I kind of the idea that, okay, you have this person and you drop them $1 million. I'm not convinced, at least, that then makes them productive. And I think you made a very strong point, which is if, like, let's say you drop somebody $1 million, if they've got that mindset, which is I want to be productive, what they'll do is they'll invest that money in places where they're weaker and then lean in heavy on the thing that they're strong at. That becomes a differentiator. And I think that's a great use of resources. That's productive. But, I just think you either have that mindset before you have resources or you don't. Maybe that's a little harsh, but that's where my mind is going, at least.
I think this whole article could be fixed if it said money allowed me to be more productive. Like, I think that's the trick right here. Money didn't make this person more productive.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
It allowed them. Again, it allows you to buy your time back. I don't think you got money, and it's a problem. Like, everyone who gets money, all of a sudden they got the answer to everything. It's like, well, I got money, so I can talk about anything now because I got money. That makes me you don't have the answer. No one has the answer to everything. God damn it. But yeah, I just think it's a bad title.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what's tripping me up for sure.
It's I'm sure you'll find another article out that says money can't buy happiness. And money can't buy. It may not buy happiness, but as someone, like I said, you get $500 to your name and rent $600. I'll tell you what, it can buy you some fucking sleep at night.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
And I'll tell you what, that sleep would have been happiness to know that rent's taken care of and electricity's not going to get shut off. And I think a lot of times people throw that around, are often the people that never missed a meal in their life and
Yeah,
never had their power shut off, never had to leave their faucet dripping in the winter so the motherfucker didn't freeze up. And I think it's really easy to say these things sometimes. So maybe it's easy to say money made me more productive, but yeah, I think it allows you to be more productive. And
yeah,
look at
that's
that.
a much better feeling.
We should be writing content for Business Insider. Hook us up
There we go.
right now. We can fix this.
Yeah, yeah.
But speaking of productivity, I'm gonna get back to work.
All right, sounds good.
I'm gonna catch you.
Thanks, James.